today we'll be starting a new topic called Hindi imperatives. Okay, and by the end of this class, my hope and goal is that all of you are comfortable, playing around with different Hindi imperatives. There's a different level of politeness, right? If you're talking to like a close friend or a children versus you're talking to, your colleague versus you're talking to elders, right? Sometimes you give respect to children also. It doesn't mean that you by default with children you go back to like the least polite mode, right? So don't take it like that. So let's take a verb called to come called ana, right? So how will we change? Like if you simply want to tell a child, come here, you will say idhar aa or just aa. Okay. If you want to tell someone close but not like very close, but like you are not very junior, you will say "ow," right? So you still have. We'll talk about the rules, but you say "ow." Similarly, if you want to be respectful, it changes to "iye." Okay, and very polite would be "aiyega." Okay, so we will do some examples of it, but for the most part, you can just stick with the first three: "a," "ow," and "iye." So how does it work, right? So I spoke about the verb called, let's say another example of the word called bolna, speak. What you do is you take the base stem of the word. What is the base stem of bolna? Right? Bol. That's the base stem because you remove the na and you're left with just bol. Okay. So in summary, you take the base stem of the word bolna and that becomes bol. In the first politeness level, you just call it bol. To bowl. If you want to be neutral, you take the base stem bowl, you put o, it becomes bolo. Tum bolo. Okay. For respectful, you take the base stem bowl and you put ea, boliye, aap boliye. And the last one, base stem bowl, iega, boliega. That means aap boliega. Okay. Things change slightly when it is irregular verb. So in Hindi, typically we are dealing with karna, dena, lena, and pina. Okay, so you have karna, which is to do, dena is to give, lena to take, and pina is to drink. In JDG, when he was bringing it up, karna, it's basically an irregular verb. So the base stem for all of this, as you can tell, it's karna is kar, dena is de, lena is le, pina is pi. Things don't change in the informal form. Okay? So things do not change. You will simply say tu kaam kar, tu kitab de, okay, tu mithai le, okay, or cake le, or ice cream le, or tu pani pi. Okay, things do not change. It works exactly same way as your regular verbs. All you have done is just use the base stem of the verb. Okay, same thing. It's you take the tum. You still have the o at the end, basically. Okay, karo. It changes slightly here. You see that? Like dena becomes you put o into that. So, but it's not two separate. Two letter, it's simply do. Okay, so it's karo, do, lo, and po. So you see there's a slight shift in these one, irregular one. Okay, because it's it will bother you because all of a sudden there is a key here, even though it's ea and iega, but like you're no longer dealing with the base stem of the karna. You're not dealing with just ka, right? So that's the slight change you should, and it's not too many regular verbs, so it's not like you have to memorize a lot of them. So tu khana le, tum khana lo, okay? आप खाना लीजिए और आप खाना लीजिएगा. Okay? You can also use the word khana itself, like kha, khao, khao, khaiye, and khaiega. Okay? But khana is to take food, right? I mean, so that's what she's using it as. So wonderful. Last one is pina. in the imperative sentences, when you're giving instructions, commands, or requests, when you want to make a negative sentence, you don't use nahi or na, you use mat. So really these are changing into mat. So same sentences that we did, if you were to practice it in negative, mat ja, mat jao, mat jaiye, or mat jaiyega. I want you to think, all of you to think about negative sentence quickly, and in the interest of time, I'm going to ask you to write down in the chat quickly one negative sentence, okay? And I want you to read other people's negative sentence as well. So we've done the fourth form of imperatives, okay? JD saying, which is a new topic, but JD saying is, if you want someone to do something in the near future, okay, without defining it, you can just say it in the infinitive form. For example, we did khel, khelo, kheliye, kheliega. Okay. If I want to tell someone to do something in near future, what is the infinitive form here? Khelna. So you can just use this as it is. Even though it means to play, but depending on how you're conveying it, kal khelna, okay, play tomorrow. It's not to play, it's play tomorrow. It's like do this thing activity. Like aaj guest aa rahe hain, kal khelna. Like the guests are coming, play tomorrow. It's an instruction that I'm giving, but because I'm telling someone to do it in the near future, okay, I'm just giving them this instruction in the infinitive. So even though it's infinitive, it's a request to someone to do this tomorrow. Like kal khana banana, make the food tomorrow. Okay, so that's what he was trying to highlight.